So welcome back, my nature lovers. How are y'all doing today? I want to say thank you for those of you returning to another one of my videos. And for those of you who are new, this is Skelly by Nature. I am Skelly, and here we talk about a lot of things pertaining to nature. And this is Mookie saying hi. We might have a couple little friend visitors, as Mookie always wants to be in the action. So anyway, last year I did a video about identifying and uses of mulberry bush or mulberry trees, and when I did my collection, so one of the things that I did was I made a jam, and just a quick jam, a nice easy quick jam, nothing crazy. And I let a friend of mine, Kelly, who fell in love with it. So this video today that I'm going to be doing is per request from Kelly. I hope most of you enjoy this video as well. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to show you guys how to take mulberry berries and turn it into a simple jam. You can do this with any type of berries. You know, if you it's about berry season almost. So, I mean, if you go out and get some blueberries or strawberries or anything like that, this is a simple way of making an easy, simple jam. So, let me get into the kitchen and we'll get started. Alrighty then. So, we're back in the kitchen. And like I said, this is a real simple jam that we're going to make. We're really only using 4 ingredients. One, we're going to have 5 cups of whatever type of berries you choose, strawberries, blueberries. I'm using mulberries. We're going to need we're basically going to be using 2 tablespoons of a little lemon juice. We need half a cup of sugar, and we're going to be using just a little dash of salt. We're going to need a decent sized saucer pan. And the other thing that you're going to need is obviously some jars. I'm going to be using 3 6-ounce jars. You can get away with going with 2 8-ounce jars, because if I remember right, I think I had 2 full ones and like 3/4 of the other one. So just make sure you have enough jars. Better to have more than not enough. And so the first step that we're going to do to make this is take 3 large spoons. I'm using soup spoons. Throw them in your freezer, and you'll see why. We're going to use those as testers later on, but get them in the freezer, get them nice and cold, because we need some nice cold spoons to test our jam later on. So now, the second step is we're going to put in our berries. We're basically just going to mix all of our ingredients. We're going to put the sugar in. We're going to turn our burner on, say, medium. We're going to do our 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And just a pinch of salt. Now, while this is heating up, what we're going to do is you're going to need a potato masher, and we're just going to go ahead and start mashing this. Now, if you're doing something like strawberries or blueberries or, you know, a big type of berry, my berries are very small because I'm using mulberries. But if you're, like I said, if you're using strawberries or big raspberries, you may want to cut them in half at first. It'll make it a little easier. But like I said, I'm using mulberries, which are, I mean, to cut a mulberry in half, you're going to probably cut yourself more than anything. So I'm just going to keep mashing this up. Now what we're doing is, you know, we're mashing this obviously to, you know, press out some of that water and get it mixed up a little bit as well. Okay, so as you can see, I got a nice boil going on here, and we don't want to burn this. So what we're going to want to do is keep stirring. We're going to keep this on a low heat, or I've got it on medium on my stove, but don't go turning it up. We don't want to burn this. You know, we're not looking to burn this. It's not going to be good that way. Keep it on low heat. You're better off taking your time doing this. And the idea of what we're doing is right now we're looking to burn or boil off the water content. And that way we're left with just the berries and the sugar and all the goodness. But it's also going to be, at this time now, do yourself a favor, either take a look at the clock or put a timer on for roughly about 20 minutes. I think that's basically, I think every time I've done this, it's always been 20 minutes or more. Really depends on the type of berries. You know, some berries contain more water than other berries. Mulberries tend to be, tend to boil, the water boils off a little faster than, you know, if you're going to be doing something else. I've done a grape one before, and that one took a long time for me to boil off the water. So we're just gonna go ahead and let this boil. Give this, I like to come in and stir it a lot. As I'm stirring it, I am kind of mashing it down a little bit more. And what we're looking to do is get this, obviously, to thicken up a little bit. You may need to make a couple hair adjustments here and there, you know, if you want to add a little more sugar. Okay, so now it's been 20 minutes, and as you can see, I get a pretty nice consistency. So now we're ready to test it, and here's where the spoons in the freezer are being used for testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a little bit out, and I'm going to pop it on this spoon. Now, what I like to do is just let that sit a little bit. I've got some pretty good consistency, I can see already. But let that just chill out on the spoon for a little bit. So what we're doing is we're just letting it cool down to see if that's the consistency that you like. Some people like a little more, you know, for me that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's yummy. So just, you know, putting it on the cold spoon allows it to cool down real quick. And gives you an idea of your thickness. Yeah. So I just like to let it cool down and give it a little taste test. And for me, that's good. That's real good. So now what we're going to do, now that I'm at the consistency that I want, is we're going to shut our burner off. We're just going to push this off to the side a little bit. Give the mixture a little time to cool down. Give it a couple minutes. Get your jars ready at this time. This is when you pull your jars out. So like I said earlier, I tend to do 3 small jars like this size, 6 ounces. I am a single guy and live on my own, and you know, if you're a family that goes through your jelly faster, you know, you can go bigger. I like to make 3 jars. I keep one in the fridge. If you have one in the fridge, if you put it in the fridge, you're good for about a month. If you put it in your freezer, they're good for about 6 months. Any longer than that, I don't really know. They've never lasted that long for me. But if you do plan on keeping it a little bit longer, or you want to keep it a little bit longer, I don't see why you can't add a little food grade glycerin, maybe a couple spoonfuls, put it in there and mix it around a little bit. That will give you a nice natural preservative. Now that I've let this cool down a little bit, I'm going to take one of my containers and I'm going to fill my container. Now when you fill your container or your jar, you're going to want to leave a little bit on the top. One year I had issues where I like jam-packed it, you know, so that's like pretty good right there. I jam-packed mine one year and I had a couple issues. So leave a little space on the top. So now what we're going to do is just take the jar and put it off to the side. We want to let these cool down a little bit before you go ahead and put them in the fridge or the freezer. Get them to like air temperature. So there we go. I have 2 6-inch jars of free jelly made from a little bit of love. And you can't get better than that. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video today. I hope you guys learned a little bit. I hope you all take a little time and make this. And if you do me a favor, hit that comment below, drop me a comment, let me know how you like it. Do me a favor as well, hit that like button, share as well, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There's going to be more videos coming. So until the next video, be beautiful, be awesome.